Hi, in this particular playlist we're going to be looking at the November 2018 Edexcel Foundation Paper 3. Now in the previous two playlists we've looked at paper 1 and paper 2, so this one is the final one in this series. Please do stop the video, have a go at each of the questions and then compare your solutions. I hope you find the videos useful. If you're not sure about anything, please do add a comment below. I'll always come back to you, add a like, it's really appreciated, and I'll look forward to seeing you inside the videos. Hi, this is the third video in the playlist, the third and final video in the playlist, where we're looking at the November 2018 Maths GCSE Foundation Tier Paper 3 for Edexcel. Okay, please do stop the video, have a go at each of the questions and then compare your solutions. I normally aim for these videos to be about 20-30 minutes or so. Not quite sure about this one, but it is the final 3 questions on this particular paper. So let's have a look then at question number 24. So Lara is a skier. Okay, she completed a ski race in that. Her race was that. Okay, Laura assumes the average speed is the same for each race using the sort of blah blah. Okay, so the first thing is we've got to work out if she completed her ski race in 1 minute 54 seconds and the race is 475 meters in length, we've got to use that bit of information to calculate her speed. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do first. Now, what we're looking for in terms of speed is we're looking for speed equals distance divided by time. Now, I do know people use triangles and all sorts of things to remember this, but basically, if you're looking at speed, if you imagine miles per hour, well, miles is a measurement of distance, per means this, and time is measured by hours. So it would be speed miles per hour, distance over time. In this particular case, however, we're going to work it out as minutes, meters per minute. Okay, and that's quite normal to do these sorts of calculations. So meters per minute means that we're going to look at the speed equals the distance, and again I would try to encourage you always to write out the full formula every single time. I've written it twice so far on this. I guess over a month I probably write the same formulas such a lot with tutoring. So the distance is fairly straightforward, that's going to be 475. Now time is going to be a little bit difficult because what we want is to be able to work out the meters per minute. So we've got 1 minute 54 seconds. Okay, so 1 minute and 54 seconds. Well, how do we actually work that out in minutes? Okay, so, well, 1 minute's all right. And then what we've got is 1 minute, if you like, plus 54 seconds, which is 54 out of 60, will give you the total amount of minutes. So if I do on my calculator, and I'm going to use the actual fraction key here, hopefully you'll be able to see that. Okay, I got 54 over 60, so it's 54 seconds out of 60 seconds. That's going to give me 9/10, or if you prefer, 0.9. So we've got 1 plus 0.9 is going to be 1.9 minutes. Okay, so again, if you're not sure about that, add a comment below and I'll try to help. Okay, so we've got 475 divided by 1.9. So that's going to give us 250 meters per minute. Okay, for Lara. All right. Then she assumes that her average speed is the same for each race. So the next race, using her assumption, work out how long Lara will take to complete 700 meters. So again, I'm actually going to write the same formula. Speed equals distance divided by time. Now, I know it's a bit overboard, but it just kind of works for me, okay, to be able to do these sorts of things. So what we've now got is her speed is 250 meters per minute. Okay, we're trying to work out how long it will take her. Okay, but we do know the distance, and the distance is going to be 700 meters. So I've got 700 divided by time. Okay, this is where your algebra comes to play. So we've got to kind of make time the subject of this formula. Now, I know, again, some teachers will show you different ways of kind of remembering triangles and all this sort of stuff. I personally don't. I think it's better to kind of go through this cycle because it helps to practice how we work with algebra. So imagine this is just time, or t if you like. I'm going to multiply both sides by time. Okay, so that goes, and I get time times 250 equals 700. If I divide both sides by 250, okay, I lose that, and I get time equals 700 divided by 250. Okay, so sometimes it's better, I think, to go from first principles and kind of work through these things, but however you do it is perfectly fine. But when you feed that into a calculator, you're going to get, and I'm just going to pop this over to here, so I've got time equals 700 divided by 250, and you'll get as an answer 2.8 minutes. Okay, so what we've got to do is, if you like, reverse engineer. So we want 0.8 of 60 seconds because they want us to give our answer in minutes and seconds. So this would be 2 minutes plus 0.8 times 60 seconds. Okay, so if you pop that into a calculator, you're going to get 2 minutes, and 0.8 times 60 is 48 seconds. And that would be the answer to this particular question. Okay, hope you've been able to follow the reasoning there. I do appreciate it might be slightly differently to the way you would calculate it. That's perfectly fine. It's just the way I do things. Okay, and hopefully we'll both come up with the same sorts of solutions. But either way, do please stop the video, have a go at it, and then compare your solution. Okay, so then there is a 1 mark kind of throwaway at the end, which is Lara's average speed actually increases the further she goes. How would it affect your answer? Well, she's gone from a race of 475 meters to 700 meters, so therefore it would just take less time. Okay, less time. Okay, and if you want, you can add in to complete the race or something like that. Okay, let's move on then to question number 25. Now, for those students who have completed the course up to the GCSE course up to about grade 5, you would come across SohCahToa type questions, which is this particular type of question where what we're being asked to do is work out the length AB, which I'm just going to call it X. Okay, so then it says the size of angle B is in the ratio the size of angle A 3 to 2. Okay, so that's a little bit of an odd one. So what we're doing is we're saying that this angle is 2 times and this angle is 3 times. Okay, so what I would do is I would say, and I'm going to confuse you a little bit, but if this is 2y and this is 3y, we've got 2y plus 3y equals 90 degrees because those two angles added together are going to be 90 degrees. It's a right angle triangle. One of the angles is 90, the other two added together is going to be 180. So we're going to have 2y plus 3y equals 90, which means 5y equals 90, which means y is 90 divided by 5, which is going to be 18, I think. Okay, so therefore it means that this angle over here is 2 lots of y, which is 36 degrees, and this angle here is 3 lots of y, which is going to be 54 degrees. Okay. Ooh, okay, so bearing in mind this is the top end of the foundation paper, I do understand that might be a little bit difficult to follow, but hopefully if you stop the video, maybe just spend a bit of time working through that yourself, it will give you a much clearer idea of what I've done there. Okay, so now we know the size of the angles, we're going to work out the length of AB. So what we're going to do is we're going to use SohCahToa in order to do that. So what we've got is a right angle triangle where this is 36 degrees, this is 54 degrees, this is 14, and this is, we don't know. We're going to call it X. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label the sides. So I'm going to use the 36 degree one. So opposite here is this length here. Well, I'm not interested in that. What I'm actually interested in is this length here, which is the longest side, which is actually the hypotenuse, because the longest side of any right angle triangle is always called the hypotenuse. Okay, so let's have a look then at the last one, which is going to be the adjacent. So if I use SohCahToa, okay, what I need to do then is figure out two things that I know and one thing that I need to find out. Well, I don't know the opposite, so therefore I can actually lose that one and that one unless I'm trying to calculate it. Okay, so I'm actually left with the cosine. So what we're saying is the cosine of 36 degrees equals the adjacent, which is 14, divided by the hypotenuse, which is the information that we're looking for. Okay, now again, as we did in the previous question, or the previous video, I did a little bit of algebra there. Previous question where we had this problem with the denominator being the unknown. So we need to make sure that's the subject. Okay, so what we do is we multiply both sides by hypotenuse. Okay, that means I lose that. And this side, I get hypotenuse times cosine 36 degrees equals 14. So if I divide both sides by the cos of 36 degrees, okay, that and that go, and I get hypotenuse equals 14 divided by cos of 36 degrees. Okay, if I pop that in my calculator, I'm going to get my final answer, which is going to be 17.3 centimetres, yeah? And that is to 3 significant figures. Okay, so a bit of a tough one. Not sure whether all students would have had access to that type of question, but it'll give you some idea. And if you're not sure, please do go to the channel. There is quite an extensive playlist on working with SohCahToa, and that might give you a little bit more practice. Okay, last question is going to be this, and I think we need the last question to be fairly straightforward, and I guess it is. And again, have a look on the channel. There are playlists on arithmetic sequences. So what we're saying here is the difference between each of these is +6. Okay, so the two things we need to know for this is we need to know the common difference. Sometimes these are actually called common difference sequences, which is going to be 6 or +6, I should write actually. So 6 is being added to each of the numbers. And then we also need to know what's called the zero term. Okay, well, this is the first term, second term, third term, fourth term. So the zero term is this one over here, which is -1, because -1 +6 will give us 5. Okay, so what I'm interested in is the zero term, which is going to be -1. And then we write that as an expression for the nth term, as it's called. Okay, so we put these two bits and pieces together and we say the nth term equals 6n -1, and that would be the answer to that particular question. So again, a little bit tough, probably about grade 5 to have a look at those sorts of questions, but have a look on the channel and also on 3minutemaths.co.uk. There's quite a few examples of these as well. Okay, 13 minutes into the video. I hope you found it useful. If you're not sure, please do add a comment below. I'll always come back to you. Add a like, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.